New February, new thumbnail. Oh, goodness. Hello and welcome to the stream. Uh, Today I'm going to be doing, I don't know, but, uh, hopefully we can get a couple people in here because, alright, there it goes. New February, new thumbnail. Anyway, hello and welcome to the stream. Uh, Anyway, Kay streamed like an hour ago and he didn't include me because I was in school. And even if so, when I got out of school, I had like really bad Wi-Fi connection. So, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to join otherwise. For like 2 minutes, it said there he was still streaming. Anyway, I want y'all to, anyway, I put out a new community post and it just says include tornado facts in the comments of this video to potentially be featured on a Melon livestream AFK screen, and make sure you ask to be credited if you want to. Now, what that means is basically if you put tornado facts in the comments to use for these AFK screens, I will include them. Because this AFK screen right now, it's pretty boring. Let's spice it up a bit. Uh, so like we're going to be adding some new images into here. And for example, I already have a fact, and this is kind of like a, and here it is. Here the fact screen is. Now, doesn't this just look so much better than the error screen? And I'm probably going to keep it on that because it just works, you know? So this is so like if you send in some like tornado fact submissions, you're going to be able to actually you're going so if you give me some tornado facts, you're going to be able to actually have these facts featured on an AFK stream because the one right now is pretty boring and that one spikes conversation when most people will probably get bored and leave if I'm AFK for too long or I have to eat. So basically what I want y'all to do, go on the community post and just comment with the fact. Anyway, now to actually get on with the stream. So what are we going to do today? So what are we going to be doing today? Now, I have an idea. Probably like Zombie Town USA or something. Wait, I'm gonna check if this. Alright, yeah. But let's see what we're going to be doing today. Now, I do have an idea. Oh, accidentally went on that iPad thing. I have to delete that. I tried to port my iPad using that. It didn't work. But hey, I got the information using AI, so AI, it does not work always as well. Am I lagging that bad? Is the stream lagging that bad? Like, if there's anybody still here, and I think there is because it says one person is in here, let me know how bad is the stream lagging for you? Because it looks like it's lagging pretty bad when I'm viewing it. And then and then what I was and then what I was doing, I was just take clips. So and our channel. I'm just probably going to watch some. Look, screen analysis. Alright, so funny story about screen analysis intro when it doesn't really seem like it has many wait, let me see. Oh, I was still on the AFK screen. But uh fun fact about the screen analysis thing. I was essentially I was trying to look up my content to demonstrate because the school I go to, it's been blocking a lot of stuff on their Chromebooks recently. So I wanted to see if they unblocked any of my videos at all. And they actually actually was one video I was able to kind of watch. It was screen analysis intro. And it's kind of a bare bones video. It doesn't really present anything to a series I'm doing called Screen Analysis, where I analyze screens of EAS things. But yeah, and yes, I am. I do have it right now. Bite me. I wonder how many videos I've tagged with hashtag MelonWX. It's kind of a bare bones video. It doesn't really present anything. Melon X. Melon X, the evil cousin of Melon WX. And this is how it looks. Out blank. So about no. My I'm not sure what that's going to do, and if it's going to reveal anything about my channel. I'm not willing to do that. Is this stream actually lagging that bad? Because it does look to be. That might be why, like, nobody said anything in chat. Oh, that was an accident, but no, it doesn't seem like it's lagging too bad. But oh, hey, we still have that anti-censor rant board from Google Feud. I should create like a Clips account, like how KES has an unofficial Clips account. I should create an official version of that for Melon for the channel, and yeah. But I feel like doing a scenario. And this is generally where the Axis win World War II. Now the gray areas are countries that have basically disconnected from the international uh community, and that was for an earlier thing that I was doing. So let me just clear off that for the channel, and yeah. I'm kind of concerned about how it's erasing things. But created with historical no. This is better not. 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 No. Uh. But the one thing we can do about it is we can lower our tolerance down to and percent tolerance and do a funny. No, I'm trying to. Yep, and here we go. Borders are back in black. The bad thing about this. Oh wait, no. And just zooming out like that. How? 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 Man, that is actually a catastrophe. I should have rethunked my thoughts. Really should have. But come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Can you please be cooperative for like just this one time? Pretty please. Pretty please. Pretty please. Or else. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now we have more borders back to where, back to the color they're supposed to be. Please, nobody clip this. Please, nobody clip this. With literally only just a context. Please do not clip this. And then we're liberating the created with historical.mapchart.net. Created with historical.mapchart.net. Yeah, buddy. Okay. I wonder if we can input like 5,000. Nope. 2,100. Nope. 2,000. Yep. That is that is probably the max. Oh boy, I love it when it lags like this. I love it. I love it. I love it. 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 Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Wait, what's this? What's this doing? Ah, never mind. It worked. At least like over here. Probably like liberate South America from the light gray virus, and then just not care about any other remaining borders. Oh, yeah, unless they're like, come on, man. And then for this, we're just going to be doing that and doing that and doing that and doing that. I was a fool to say. There are enough. There are little enough islands to just not do that recolor thing, especially because it'd just be a pain. But okay, we're going to simulate the Great Trial. Hello, Thriver. We're going to be simulating the Great Trial. Now, this is basically like Operation Barbarossa, but flip it on its head and give it some milkshakes. We are going to be doing this, but with the Soviet Union actually the Holy Russian Empire actually attacking what was the Soviet Union, but now is not. This is the Soviet Union. This is the Holy Russian Empire, and then we have this. Some areas that we forgot to refill with this color. Oh goodness, I'm gonna have to straw. Gonna go insane in the membrane. And then I don't know how this got to be this, but why did it just turn red? And now we have to. Okay. Oh, she did they believing. Wait, is this Hoi Fortuno? Close, but this is actually Paint.net. But this is actually just a random scenario I made up. I wasn't actually meaning to just make this kind of like it, but I could care less than to color any of the colonies in. So just so y'all know that. And then they're also going to be advancing into Finland because, you know, they're not very appreciative of Finland either. And then let's begin this Aid is pro scenario. So let me just test it out. Test this out. Okay, yeah, it seems to be working pretty well. Okay, so basically, this is going to start actually differently than how most of these scenarios start, but the Soviets are actually going to start advancing into what would be Azerbaijan, Armenia, and Georgia, the Caucasus. And uh and Germany's gonna be like, hey, what are you doing? Well, they're probably not gonna be like that. They're just gonna be like, okay, attack, 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 attack. But not before some more advancements are being made, like on the Finnish border, but But now, basically, Germany is actually going to advance into the USSR, kind of like this. Oh, and a disclaimer. Also, if we could do StreamYard, I could help since I used to be obsessed with TNO. However, there are some things on StreamYard that I do not really want in my streams, but if you want to actually just come be a host for streams, you could do that. I'd set up a StreamYard if you'd want to, you know. But that's just all to you. You could help like make the scenario if you really want to, but this isn't really TNO. It's just a scenario I made up. It has some similarities to TNO, like the Holy Russian Empire, but that's just coincidence. All right, there are a lot of these things that I don't think are really just accurate to the scenario, or no, not accurate, but I don't think are just included in TNO. Like there are some similarities, like the royal. Oh, now you just want to color the borders. But the Canadian royal family being exiled, or no, the British royal family being exiled into like Canada and North America, and just they're bouncing all over the place here. You know. But continuing on with the scenario, the USSR is going to push into and just naval land on Crimea, and that's going to be done so for the German control of the Black Sea. And the Germans, they're actually kind of slow on this, kind of like how, kind of like how Russia was clueless when Operation Barbarossa first happened in our timeline. But the Germans are going to get pretty the name of the singer kicked out, and their territory is going to be invaded. Now, by this point, all the Axis is kind of volunteering because they know that if Russia wins this war, they're going to be up next because, especially Romania, Bulgaria, well, not Bulgaria, but you know what I mean. Basically, they're gonna try to get like they know the USSR is gonna try to like get revenge on them, and they do not want that at all. Especially Romania, because like I said, Romania actually controls some territory the USSR actually used to have. So following this, the USSR is a bit, you know, taken aback. Their Crimean access is cut off, but again, it just doesn't really take long to get reorganized because they're not making the same mistake as last time. They know how things roll, and that's been a primary instinct for them since 1945. So they're able to keep control of Crimea. And the USSR is going to just continue to advance basically on all fronts. And the USSR is going to pull a beginning of the war and naval land in Romania and Bulgaria. Now, the thing though, they're kind of surrounded by just Nazis, and they heard how the war happened. Like they heard about the landing in Baku, so they were all kind of preparing for this moment because, especially due to the spies basically told them that Russia was probably going to pull another stunt like this, and they're able to get rid of that. But basically, what happens again? The Russians they invade on all fronts, and now the German high command is beginning to panic because we know that they're still in like Russia, modern day Russia, but Germany is still panicking because Russia is Russia is just not slowing down. They are unforgiving. There has been many casualties on both sides, and they do not seem to just care about that whatsoever because they keep smashing their. Not only do they keep smashing their heads into it, they're actually really well equipped against the Germans, much like how they were in our times Stalingrad. So again, but the Russians, they've received report basically the rest of from basically the rest from basically like America that the Germans are gonna try to basically just pull what Russia did at the beginning of this war and land in like Sevastopol, and then from there just help Romania and push them out. So Russia knowing what happened that didn't time they listen, they decide to listen and they build up a bunch of fortifications along the Crimean Peninsula and just the general Romanian front. And so the German Romanian attack commences and they land in Sevastopol, but the Russians are able to halt it before it gets too far, and they are stuck in Sevastopol with the siege. And Russia, to turn the Germans' attention away from this, what happens is they just make more advances on all fronts, and they start beelining for Poland. Now, this is bad because the Russians, they have learned about what Germany is doing just around this general area in Poland, Slovakia, Baltics, literally some in like Finland, Hungary, basically all over the place. And they're like, okay, our Slavic brothers, well, we know we invaded Poland, but just forget about that. Our Slavic brothers, they're being endangered and they need us to come help them. And so that happens, and they actually start to get into what was once what was once Polish territory, like around here. And so now Germany, they're actually freaking out. And so basically, they order the evacuation of Sevastopol, marking the invasion as a failure, and Romania criticizes them on that. But they remain in the war only because they're part of the Axis and they do not want to face consequences for their actions if Germany does indeed lose. So they're going to keep fighting with Germany while Germany attempts to neutralize this front, and does because the Russians, they really never had much plans of staying. They just use this as a decoy to fool the Germans into giving up Sevastopol. And what happens next is a massive Russian advance into basically just their former lands, and they capture St. Petersburg as it's known now, but I couldn't really be bothered to know, what it was, Finland, but they're starting to advance down the Finnish coast. And and they've kind of learned their lesson because they actually start to get close to Helsinki. But Finland but Finland still knows how to push the Russians back, and so they do, and Helsinki, it's no longer threatened. On that, on the other thing, I should probably color Finland like this because they're not really affiliated with Ger- Germany. They just kind of help them. How do I make it fast so I don't draw over? How do I make it so I don't draw over like this blue? And if you just want to make Finland invade Germany, you can't. And so what happens is and so they continue to fend off the Russians, although they just, their forces enter St. Petersburg, and they give the Germans access to forces over there, or well, their forces over there. So the Germans, they reconnect with Estonia and meet up, and that causes them to recuperate and get back St. Petersburg, but the Russians are not demotivated and actually decide to punish Finland harder for this. So, yet another tough offensive begins where they try to serve the coast. Now, because America is actually giving them weapons, to defend themselves from Finland, they actually take Helsinki this time and the southern coast, which makes most of their population under Soviet control. So, Finland says, screw it, let's just leave. And now, St. Petersburg is retaken along with Tallinn, Riga, and the other Baltic countries as they actually meet up with Königsberg. Now, this is a catastrophic loss for the Germans, and they do actually end up reclaiming it, but just barely, and they spend most of their forces doing so. But now they're actually really worried because the Soviets are beginning to advance and quickly. So they decide to focus on the southern front as another decoy for the Germans and start taking out their neighbor Romania. But they actually, without intention, managed to capitulate Romania. So they start attacking again into basically all directions, and that presents a catastrophic threat to Germany, as that is about to liberate Poland. And they take back, or no, and they take Königsberg again, and Warsaw falls. Now, this is serious because Germany has basically just, a catastrophe has basically just happened on the German front, and another one is about to happen. Now, they advance into Greece because they really want to liberate Greece themselves because they can spread the communism over there. But Greece rises up much similar to how Yugoslavia did and basically just liberates themselves. Now, the Soviets, they do actually manage to just kind of gain most of the Greek land. So it's not an entire, loss for them, but yeah. Oh, and they also have captured the German exclave in uh Greece. And they give control of that to Greek forces, but Turkey requests it and the Soviet Union says no because come on, what are they doing to help? And so now they push them out of Bulgaria and another Axis member is lost. Also, they also push into Croatia and capture Zagreb, basically making them surrender on all fronts. Serbia surrenders, has no. Oh no, 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 oh no. Did it just go out? Okay, we're alive. Did it just go out? We're alive. We're alive. I thought that meant disconnecting the stream and I had a panic attack. But what happened? But you know who else is having a panic attack? Germany. And well, we never really were dead, but So this is Berlin, and the Battle of Berlin is about to begin. Probably will be one of the most devastating battles of this war that I am creating. So they begin to encircle around Berlin, and as that happens, something else happens, and the German Protectorate of Britain basically joins the war, but but is but is hit with a stroke as basically these forces they rise up they rise up and are called the Free Britain forces. Now they're basically also OBS is behind by like a minute or two. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They can just have a stroke like that, well, but continuing on with the scenario, they push into Scotland and capture Edinburgh, and that's when the final Germans on the island surrender. Now they now they now like in true British fashion, they land on Ireland, which is an island, and they capture just everything. And so the British royal family departs basically they depart uh they depart Toronto and make their way over to the United Kingdom, in which in London they are met by hello JS Gaming. But they are met by they are met by hundreds of crowds cheering. There is general overall happiness that they're back. And nobody could ever possibly think of trying to assassinate them. And oh no, what happened? The British government just almost got assassinated. No, the British royal family almost just got assassinated. And that's not good. But, and some people might say it might have just probably been the Soviet government, but they're going to not comment on those claims while inching further and further to Berlin. Now, basically by this point they've got Berlin surrounded. And Berlin is about to fall. So let me slow down the time here and go about like day by day, but it's not going to go at the same speed that it really was because, well, this is a dramatic scene. Did you honestly think that we were going to not cover this battle in depth? Alright, so the Soviets kind of advance like this, and they start to enter the Berlin suburbs, but they are met by a bunch of Germans who are defending the city, who actually do start to push them out and away towards the coastline. But what they don't know, this has just given the Soviets a perfect opportunity to uh, cut them off, which is pretty much exactly what they're going to do. But once again, the Germans just start to liberate that, and their in circulation, it's held by a thin needle, which is eventually broken when the Germans recapture this and start to generally advance with other Germans on the front making more advances. And so the Soviets just start pushing right back in because Germany might be a little tough, but they are still tough, and they start to advance full on into the city, and they are nearing downtown. Now, a lot of German troops they start to evacuate Berlin, but in his bunker in uh but in his bunker in Amsterdam, basically mustached man, he urges the Germans not to surrender the city as it is planned for future Germania, but they don't really listen because they know that the Soviets are pretty much just going to decimate them, and with that, Berlin surrenders. That's catastrophic. I can't explain to you how catastrophic that is. if I did speak on mic in my videos, I'd be stuttering more than you. Yeah, basically just when my mind just gets more confused, it just tries to find the words and can't. But we are going to go back to basically the other front. But something wild is going to happen while the Soviets are nearing just the half of Germany, and that will be the United Kingdom making a landing in the Benelux. And it's about right here. And thus, the greater battle for the Netherlands begins. And I'm going to start stressing, or no, pointing out more important cities in here, because it does generally put a sense of just what happens in here. Hamburg, Copenhagen, Oslo, and I don't know where Trondheim is, but if I knew where it was, I would put it there. Also just Paris and not London, because spoiler alert, London is not going to be hit anymore by the Germans because, well, but they're advancing slowly and surely towards Brussels, and that's not good, especially because the Soviets, they want in on some of this Benelux action and begin advancing near uh Luxembourg. So now they're faced with a weird decision, because most major cities left are pretty near them, because the British, they just took over this peninsula, and that's going to basically be the end for, and that might be for me. I just can't speak to people that aren't my family. It's just hard for me. I get that, but yeah. Uh, so basically, what happens is there's they start resisting like really hard. So the Soviets, they have to try to just meet up with that French border. And from then, uh, this pocket just gives up because they know that their nation of Germany, it's pretty much dead. That's most of Holland. Yeah. The Netherlands in this scenario is currently mostly occupied by Germany, but they're about to liberate Amsterdam. But but probably not like right now. What they will be liberating right now is Brussels, the capital of Belgium, and they're going to continue. And Belgium, or no, and Belgium is pretty much liberated. And their government is restored. So basically, they lead Germany on a chase through Belgium, and they're still like mostly remaining in. They're still remaining in like Luxembourg province, but the troops from Belgium, they go up to the Netherlands and cut off uh Amsterdam. Now Amsterdam is still where the mustached man still remains, and so to ensure that he doesn't escape, they establish a naval superiority over this lake right here and sea. So the forces, they try so hard to just make them stop advancing toward Amsterdam, but they fail, and everybody just knows it's pretty much over for Germany at this point. And now another battle that's going on is the Battle of Hamburg. Now, Hamburg is an important city in Germany. It's a port city. Basically, that's where stuff arrives in Germany's ports, so they don't really want that to fall. They never really wanted any city that's currently capitulated to fall, but oh well. And basically what happens, they just fall. It's not too dramatic, but they do put up a fight. And and at this point they relocate their capital to Oslo. Now by this point the Soviet Union has already advanced like around what? Like no. like like around they do advance like what? Around over here into Norway. So they're not really too far from Oslo considering the size of Europe. I have an idea for some better quality maps. March, April. Yeah. All right. April is actually my birth month, so that's going to be pretty amazing when it comes to be my birthday. But what's going on is basically the Soviets, they're trained to the cold. They know how to fight in it, so they're slowly but surely just pushing down into Norway. And it goes from this to this, which is so concerning because it's pretty sizable when in reference to Oslo. And something else is going to happen. Sweden's going to join in support of the Soviet Union. Now, Soviets they aren't actually annexing Sweden, as would the color of Britain would make you believe, but you know, just the attackers here, they're colored with red. And Norway is in Sweden, they actually are near Oslo. So so after they take over like all the coastal areas and over here there's pretty much the mountains. They take Oslo and from there Germany basically just capitulates. There are no more major cities left. There are barely any cities left at all and Germany surrenders. So let's make the peace deal. The stream 0. Yeah, this is happening for me as well. It's not just you. I don't know what I can do to make it stop, but I'm sure y'all can get like the gist. In about 20 minutes I'll be playing a game, I don't know what. Alright. Are some of y'all still here? Because it says there's like one person watching, and I'm not sure if like everybody else left. And EBG is here. 4 people are actually here. Or well, it says that. I think that's almost a record high. So, goodness gracious, that's pretty amazing. And so, what will happen is the Soviet Union, it's not going to annex Finland because it knows what happens when it tries to do that, but it's going to take over some coastal regions. Germany, on the other hand, and basically the Axis, they're going to get punished pretty severely. So, so around, I think here is how far the Soviet Union would just annex. And that's pretty far. Even considering the small size of Europe, that is far. And the Soviets, they don't keep true to their promise, and they set up a puppet republic in basically what's northern Bulgaria, but they label it as Greece. Yugoslavia is reformed. France is reunified and gets back its. And basically, this starts. Yeah. Oh, they get back Alsace-Lorraine. The Netherlands is revived. Is it just me or is there an echo? I'm in a pretty echoey room right now. Lower the spacing? Alright. And do I'm gonna do this with anti-aliasing because that's just a little less pesky to deal with. It's pretty pesky, but it's not as pesky. And Norway is also going to get revived. However, to ensure that the Soviets don't try anything funny, the Swedes will temporarily be taking over this area of Norway, but it's only going to be temporary, and the Norwegians are going to have it back. Basically, basically in 15 years, unless there exists a new problem regarding the Soviet Union. Also, I feel like I haven't really properly introduced JS to the community that we're in, who basically does these sort of streams. So, we're part of the EAS community, and it's basically a community dedicated to the Emergency Alert System, or the EAS as people abbreviate it. And basically, if you live in the United States and you hear this, and you basically like see the TV just switch off, if you like if you have cable TV, uh, or you live in Canada and you hear the or basically just the alert tone, then yeah, that's what it is. It's time for some more punishments for Germany. And they're going to get even more of Schleswig and around here, independent Polish state, as well as the Czechs are also going to be regaining their independence and reunifying with the Slovaks. Austria will also be uh not killed anymore. And these are basically just the German borders of the modern day, but I don't care. They're almost the German borders of the modern day. There are some fallacies that happen. Or no, there are some things that make it not exactly the border of Germany of today, but it's pretty close. These are basically just fallacies that happen. By the time it shows, you might have made a stream. A bunch of other YouTubers' videos are there. Yeah. So once you see me texting this, it'll for me already have been a minute or two. Uh, I use my iPad to actually see the stream chat, so it's not going to be more so a minute or two. Also the chat doesn't reload at the same time as the stream, but I can generally see where you're going with that. Yeah. And basically, in the Holy Russian Empire, they're basically just they're basically just going to invade and annex the Soviet Union, what's left of it, and just yeah, you could pretty much imagine how that went into Vladivostok, and they were done. So let's just change the map to reflect that. Japan still maintains its thing because Soviet Rush, no, the Holy Russian Empire, they didn't really feel like attacking them. They just told them, "Hey, give us Sakhalin." In Japan, knowing they can make profit out of it and also not wanting to die, they did so. So basically, we're here now. I, I never like stream. I don't know how to do it without camera. I use OBS. Also, I'm having the 8-inch Pro, same thing. Yeah, stream's pretty much buffering. I hope the audio isn't buffering, but for me it doesn't really seem like it. And basically, our scenario is over. Hope y'all enjoyed that. So now what do we do? Epic Blocky Gaming actually surprisingly hasn't really said much. I'm not trying to get onto his case, I'm just saying. He said like one message. Thriver and JS Gaming are mostly when your audience just wants you to make one video constantly, it gets boring. I don't really know what that means. I think you're implying that I'm gonna see what happens more so. Or no. Do you play Roblox? I'm not sure if that question is meant for me, but yeah, I do play Roblox. Oh, and actually, I could play right now if OBS kind of lets me uh do that. So I will be right back and get it. So yeah. I can buy a Rise of Nations VIP. Nice. Uh, but yeah, we're kind of getting into gaming mode. We're getting set up for it. I got my PS4 controller. Got my PS4 controller here. Go in there. Hopefully it isn't dead. Yeah, it's not